So Sheffield Wednesday have been given a 12-point deduction in real life because they went into administration, and in this video I am going to take Sheffield Wednesday and try and keep them in the championship. This is going to be a one-season video. We're going to use a tactic. It's a 4-2-3-1, kind of morphs into a 4-4-2 when you are out of possession, but it is an interesting tactic. I will show you what that is as we go into the save. But on the game, Sheffield Wednesday don't have the points deduction yet, so we are going to play the game, and then at the end we're going to take away the 12 points and see if we were able to keep them in the championship. So if you enjoy this video, please leave a like. Please also subscribe to the channel if you like this sort of content. Let's dive into the video. So this is the tactic we are going to be employing here at Sheffield Wednesday. It is a 4-2-3-1, you could possibly argue, a 4-2-4 potentially as well. But this is the combined. In possession, we are looking at definitely a more of a 4-2-3-1 formation. Out of possession, we are looking probably more at a 4-4-2. And yeah, that's the combine. But this is a super aggressive tactic. If we look at the team instructions, it's about shorter passing, high tempo, playing narrow, playing on the counter attack as much as possible. And in terms of the out of possession instructions, it's a high press, high defensive line, stepping up more, getting stuck in, counter pressing, that is, and pressing as highly as often as you possibly can. And look, the concern with this team, obviously, look, this is an experiment. This team probably is not built to play this formation. It is fair to say, you know, this team's designed to be a team that is going to be struggling towards the bottom of the league, and this formation's for better teams than that. But we're going to be intrigued to see how it goes in this campaign. So we're going to simulate the season now, and we'll catch you on the other side. So the season has finished, and the bad news is very much that we are no longer the Sheffield Wednesday manager, sacked on the 25th of April. So let's see why we were sacked. I presume we have been sacked because we've clearly had a very bad season. So let's have a look at the league table and see how we did. The playoff final has not played yet. So the league table, Sheffield Wednesday finished third, bottom of the table. We can't see how many wins we've got here because it hasn't loaded in, but 42 points. So if you take away the 12-point deduction, we would have finished bottom of the league on 30 points. And yeah, not ideal. So relegation for this Sheffield Wednesday team. We were shipping goals, 81 goals conceded. We look at the rest of the league, Southampton and Birmingham. We've got the playoff final, which is Hull against Preston. That's an interesting playoff final. But yes, this Sheffield Wednesday team have been relegated, unfortunately. Let's have a look at some of the results here. See if we can pick out, you know, do we have any good runs? Do we have any particularly bad runs? So we actually started the season with a 2-1 away win at Leicester City. Drew 2-2 and beat Middlesbrough on penalties. So I think at this point, even the draw against Stoke, we are probably thinking we are, you know, fine and dandy. However, as the season progressed, pretty hopeless end to August. September, really not much better. A 4-1 defeat at home against QPR. A really, really disappointing result. We did get an away win at Charlton. We beat Oxford at home as well. And a little bit of respite in November with a period here where we go, well, it's actually 5 games, 3 wins, and 3 draws, 6 games without defeat here. 1-0 win away at Southampton, so a pretty impressive result there, and a 3-1 against Norwich. But as the season goes on, a 6-1 defeat away at Ipswich Town. That's the worst result so far. A 4-3 defeat against Derby, where we were leading the game 3-2, and it just from here doesn't really pick up much, does it? A 2-1 away win against QPR, but overall just gets worse and worse, and I think we've ended up getting the sack pretty much on the basis of a horrific January and February where we just struggled to pick up any sort of results. A 3-2 defeat in the derby against Sheffield United. That's not good. How do we do in the home derby? Home derby, we got a 0-0 draw. So we'll take a 0-0 draw there considering we end up getting relegated. And there we go. 25th was our last game, which was a 1-0 defeat away against Oxford. That was our final game in charge, as we saw relegation to the League One. That would be, I mean, obviously this Sheffield Wednesday team is clearly the worst team in the division. Do we have any star performers? Well, Bailey Katamari scored 19 goals, so fair play to him on that one. Very good player as well, to be fair, so I suspect that people will get a bit of resale value on him in the summer. Other than that, Ike Ugbo scored 8 goals, Jamal Lowe 5 goals, 5 assists. Do we have any outstanding assisters? Jan Valerie Ingelsson did okay there. How did Barry Bannon, 33 games, just 1 goal and 2 assists, and he's obviously the star man pretty much in the Sheffield Wednesday team. So you'd probably say that this has been a little bit of a failure, but obviously we have to look at the context of it. The formation that was picked for this is a formation that has worked really well with the top teams in Europe. It's a Bayern Munich formation, and we were trying to put in a very high pressing athletic formation into the Sheffield Wednesday team, which is fundamentally probably the weakest in the championship. So it was always going to be very, very difficult, and yeah, to finish third bottom is disappointing. Even if we put the points deduction on there, we would have comfortably finished bottom of the league. So disappointing. Only 20 defeats though. We drew a lot of games, 18 draws. So maybe if we had a bit more clinical play, maybe we could have, picked up more and won. Anyway though, we didn't save Sheffield Wednesday, which is a massive shame. However, it is what it is. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Please also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll catch you soon for another Football Manager video.